Hello and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland, an Arsenal podcast. I'm Gimli and tonight my guests are, first up, his diet of salty Lucozade and his love for mini cheddars has left him the sample of mankind you see before you. It's Danny the GFP. Hello, Danny.
Well, apart from the fact someone's computer's buzzing, my favourite drink is lorry driver's lemonade.
Whose computer would that be buzzing then?
Is it with you, Raj? Or, actually, probably Raj.
Yeah, I'm going to blame Raj.
Oh, yeah, that means it was you.
It was actually.
See, you shouldn't underestimate the powerful healing effects of lorry driver's lemonade, and it's free along the middle of any motorway.
Do you know what? You should get a lemonade stand outside your house.
I dream of things like that.
Add it to all the children in the summertime.
Come on, hurry up! I've got bloody something coming. Got a delivery. Third of the day.
Oh, Christ. Next up, if you were to give our next man a hug, some might say you would be touching cloth. It's the Right Honourable Rev Raj. Hello, Rev.
Hello, you ginger hermaphrodite. How are you?
Oh, less of the hermaphrodite.
Well, I'm actually very jealous of you, Gib, because Kate's quite fit, isn't she?
Well, put it like this. She's got lovely jubblies.
Oh, no. Oh, you've ruined it. You've ruined it. We'll have to start again now.
I know, but it's me that at the end of the night gets to go... Oh.
That's just
Headset.
OTT. How's your week been?
Oh, it's been lovely. Rainy. It's just, I'm living the dream living in Wales, to be honest with you. Davis is just down the road. He's like a stone's throw or a brick. Either way.
And you're drinking a coffee at the moment, are you?
No, I'm actually drinking a beer.
Yes,
okay.
Surprise.
I'm all coffeeed out.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
I had about 10 cups today. Right, next up, some have described this man as the Jack Russell of podcasting, but we think he's just like Dr. Pepper. Oh, so misunderstood. Hello, Gav from She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. You right, Gav?
Evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I can't wait to get this podcast underway. I'm just out an untold amount of fun.
Oh, good.
And finally, our special guest tonight has Arsenal in his blood. Fresh from visiting Shez at Gimli last night, it's Stevie Hurst from the Arsenal in My Blood podcast. Hello, mate.
How's it going, guys?
Long time no speak.
Yeah, I spoke to you yesterday.
You were. You were sat on my sofa drinking Jack Daniels.
Many Jack Daniels.
It's all good.
Many.
It's all good. We'll move on then, and we'll start off tonight's show by taking a look back at all of the Arsenal scores from across the board. Danny?
Right, fair enough. Here we go. I was going to ask Stevie if he worried for his life at any point last night, but I won't ask that. Anyway, Saturday the 9th of May, the under-18s, Fulham 5, Arsenal 1. The mighty Harry Donovan, no relation to Landon Donovan that I've recently found out and was quite gutted with, scored for us to put us 1-0 up. And we thought, here we go, another win. Well, another win. It's the under-18s. It'll be the first bloody win. Then they let in 5. Usual old shit. So we're now rock bottom of the second group in the second phase, as we're the worst under-18 team in the history of football after finishing second bottom in the first phase. That means nothing to most people, but it just means everybody from the coaching academy, the under-18s, should be... I was going to say shot, but that's rude. Just beat him with a shitty stick. Then on the same day, the ladies, they're doing brilliant. They 1-1 at Bristol Academy. Chioma Ubu-Gagu, I think that's how you say it, Ubu-Gagu. She scored.
You really do yourself no favours, do you?
UBO, which is Ubu.
Ubo.
Ubo-Gagu.
How do you spell it? Go, let's just sort this out, because it's every time I'm on here, you get that name wrong every single time.
That's because she scores a lot of goals.
UBO, yeah.
G-A-G-U.
Ubo-Gagu.
Oh, no, you got that wrong. Look at you. It's disgusting.
Ubo-Gagu.
No. Anyway, she scored her third goal of the season, and she seems to be the only one of our scoring goals. We're second in the league, mostly down to her, and she's an American international as well. She's very good. I actually tweeted her last week and said, I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Feel free to come on and then explain yourself. Right, and then on Monday, the 11th of May, the under-21s, we beat Bolton, went to Bolton and smacked them 3-1. Good, because I fucking hate Bolton. I've been there once at the old ground and nearly died of hypothermia. And Ormond Otwell, he scored one, Conservative. Iwobi got scored yet again, and Super, I'm going to take over Theo Walcott's place next season. Gnabry scored as well, so we're now 5th in Division 2. That's Division 2, people. Fucking Division 2. With no chance of promotion. That means we're going to have 2 seasons in Division 2. Scrap all under-18 and under-21 football at Arsenal. Don't need it. There you go. Done.
And that's a wonderful, wonderful analysis of the Arsenal scores across the board.
Yes.
we'll start off tonight's podcast by going back to Monday night and talking about our 1-0 loss at home to Swansea. Stevie, would you like to kick us off with your analysis of the game, please?
Yeah, sure. I suppose. Don't really know what to say, to be honest with you. What a game, eh? We played extremely narrow. That was my analysis of it in a nutshell, really, to be honest with you. No width. And Swansea sat deep and just got us on the counter and got that scrappy little goal at the very, very end. Massively disappointing, considering, it was just poor football all around. We just couldn't seem. We got some shots off, and everybody was sort of bigging up Fabianski like he was doing some amazing football, but they were all pretty standard saves that he needed to make. He gets paid to do that for a living. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that he makes saves like that. I just can't believe how we lost it in the manner that we lost it overall. Really, to be honest with you, it's a pile of shit.
It certainly is. Gav, we'll go over to you next, and Stevie there hinted about Fabianski coming back and having a bit of a stormer. But was he really that good? I mean, I can only seem to remember 2 or 3 that were actually decent saves. I mean, the rest of it was pretty much right at him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they was all down his throat, weren't they, really? I mean, some of them we was unlucky, and some of them people didn't get the right connection on it, but most of them were down his throat. I mean, you would have caught fucking most of them.
Danny would have.
Well, yeah, Danny, I mean, it would just bounced off Danny's head, wouldn't it?
Racist.
But, yeah, like the thing that bothered me though is when, like in the second half, when he brought Theo on, I thought, right, I mean, we're going to get a bit of width here. And then he didn't. He played Theo down the middle, and then finally we started whipping a few balls in, mainly from, I think it was Ramsey on the left, and there was no one in the middle, and we was putting high balls in, and, Giroud's, been subbed off. It just seemed like a very odd substitution, really. I couldn't understand what Theo brought to the game once he come on. He was played in the wrong position, and the sort of balls that we'd expect Giroud to get on the end of, there was no Giroud on the pitch to get on the end of them. So I thought that was a bit of a weird one, but apart from that, it's just shit, really, wasn't it? I mean, it's never nice losing, but losing a game that we was all over them on and just couldn't put the ball in the net and couldn't get a decent shot off is just a bit frustrating all round, really.
And Gav, you touched on substitutions there. We'll move over to Raj. The substitutions on the night were Coquelin for Jack and Giroud for Walcott. I don't think he actually made a third substitution. Do you agree with the subs that he made on the night? I mean, Danny said after the game, and I think I agree with him, that Rosicki could have given us something. There were other options on the bench. Is it harsh to say that the subs were bad subs?
I don't think the subs were bad subs. I thought when Wilshere came on, he actually gave us a bit of impetus, and which kind of started to attack a little bit more than when Coquelin was on. You could say that we could have experimented with a third substitution because we had nothing to lose at that point. But it was just one of those games where Swansea turned up. They had a game plan and they stuck to it brilliantly, to be quite honest. It might not be the most positive of game plans or tactics, but it worked for them. They had 5 across the middle. The Sigurdsson was like some sort of false striker up front who more often than not turned into a 6th midfielder. So we had to try and break them down. It was, I'm going to use a boxing analogy actually. It reminded me weirdly of Foreman Ali in Zaire in '74, the rope-a-dope thing, where Swansea just took all the hits, all the pressure, and then right at the last few minutes they went up down the other end and scored the goal and won the game. And Ali did the same thing in the 8th round. But it was ultimately frustrating and a little bit worrying now because we seem to have lost a bit of steam now, and the last 2 results mean that we might be looking at 3rd or even 4th place.
And you say about Swansea's game plan, Danny, I'm going to shift it over to you. It seemed to me like from the get-go that they were putting in strong tackles on Alexis. I mean, Ozil was taken out a few times. I mean, they went there to breathe down our necks, and pretty much we chucked the kitchen sink at them and they just mopped it all up with ease, really. Well, I mean, do you think that they came with a game plan? Or do you think that they knew that they wouldn't get lion's share of possession and they would have to take their chances, and it was just a case of they took their chances and we didn't take ours?
I think they saw the way that Chelsea played last week against us, and Chelsea play non-football at the moment because they're just scraping along trying to get the points enough to win the title. And although we always give Brendan Rodgers loads of grief, at least his team comes to play football. And when a team plays football against us, we smack them, which is hopefully what we'll do to Villa when we play them in the final. But you're on about the tackles. Swansea had 24 tackles, we had 16. And just looking at their shots, they only had 8 shots, of which 3 are on target. Which was, if people blame Ospina, but I don't really think it was his fault. He saved it, just didn't save it in time. But then we had 23 shots and 9 on target. Now, I was just looking at that. I don't think that's really a bad thing that we lost, because we're coming up to play Man United. Are we playing them home or away?
Away.
Yeah. So we've now lost that run of 10 domestic games unbeaten. We've now lost that run of 10 home Premier League games unbeaten. But the worrying thing is we've got back-to-back home games without scoring a single goal, which is the first. I think we've nearly scored every single home game this season. But I think it's good to get those runs out of the way, because then there's no pressure on us to continue the run when we're going away to Man United, which is probably going to be one of our toughest games of the season, even though they're shit, because it's like a North London derby, isn't it? It doesn't really go on form or the players that you've got. It's just that age old battle. But then I also like the fact that we've this brilliant run that we've had of winning nearly every single game coming up to the FA Cup final is going to be out the window. So we won't be going, oh look, now we're at 17 games unbeaten or whatever it was going to be for the FA Cup final. So I think it's good to get it out of the way. I don't really give a damn about losing at home to Swansea. They're a very average team. They're doing well, which considering they've had all their best players taken off them. But it's gone from my mind. What was it? Oh, yeah, most other games, you'd have 9 shots on target. For us, that usually means 2, 3, 4 goals. It's just Fabianski had the game of his life, which goalkeepers tend to do when they come and play Arsenal, which is one of the things that winds me up. They don't have that good a game all season. And then they come to us and they play out of their skins. Looking at the league table, do you know how many goals Swansea have conceded this season?
Go on.
44 in 36. So they're conceding just over a goal a game. And then you go and have a look at their away goals. Swansea down here, they've conceded 26 goals in 18 away games. So that's 1.5 goals a game. So that's the kind of form that Fabianski is in. Normally, comes to us, plays the game of his life. Nothing we can do about it. We're just unlucky. That's all it is. Move on.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I kind of agree with the stats that Danny just said, but a lot of those games, they conceded multiple goals in a game. I was looking at Fabianski's stats, and he's actually had 13 clean sheets.
He's one of the informed keepers.
It's not bad, is it? So,
yeah.
He might concede 3 or 4 in other games, but he's had a pretty good season so far, so fair play to him.
Yeah, and they're on a run at the moment where he's had a clean sheet against us and Stoke, and then he let in 2 against Newcastle, and he let in 2 against Leicester, and then 1 against Everton and 1 against Hull. So just sometimes he's good and sometimes he's bad, but I think he was so up for that game to come and show Wenger that he was the wrong Polish player that we let go. It should have been, for me, it should have been Szczesny that went.
They haven't done that badly at all this season, because they've done a double over United, haven't they?
And their best striker taken off them in the they've done the double over us, I think. Yeah,
they've done a double over us, double over United. Monk's turning into a decent manager with the resources he's got. He didn't have his full squad with him on Monday, so you got to give him a little nod, on what they did.
The funniest thing of all, when we were doing the prediction league, Carpenter actually predicted Gomez's first goal score, and when he wasn't starting, he went, "I'll change it to something else."
That's harsh. We'll go over to Stevie next, and just a very simple question. Do you think Arsenal were complacent on the night, Stevie?
I think you get opportunities, and Arsenal once again show that they can't convert these opportunities. Funnily enough, on my podcast, which you featured on, I brought up a statistic in regards to Ozil. I think it was 130 chances he's created.
Yep.
In the past 2 years, and we've only converted 14 of those. So, there's it's not like, opportunities are not there and thereabouts. It's getting on the end of it and being, consistent with burying those particular chances. So it was extremely frustrating having all those opportunities, but not actually having the clinical finishing, and I hear it all the time. About how, Arsenal's so nice and everything like that. And, there's no evil play, any players with any backbone, or they're not vicious or anything like that. And I think that rings true. If somebody misses, they're like, "Oh, it's all right, mate. I'll get you through. You're all right, mate. You can have another shot." It's like, "Nah, mate. You should be You should be really, really annoyed, and say, well, you should have buried that chance. To be perfectly honest with you, if you want to stay in the first 11, you should be burying those chances when you get an actual opportunity." So it really winds me up that we've got the players that we do at our disposal, and they're just not clinical enough. Not clinical enough.
And it seemed to follow what Thierry Henry had said earlier in the week, that we would never win the league with Olivier Giroud as our main striker. Gav, we'll go to you next. I mean, we had loads of possession. There was very little end product. Off the back of Henry's comments, does this signify even more the need to buy a big name striker in the summer?
I mean, it's not really the case of a big name. It's the case of getting somebody in that can do the job. And Giroud is a very, very good, second choice forward. And as it stands at the moment, I can't think of anybody that we've got in the squad really that is sort of challenging him to be the first choice every game. So we need somebody that's going to sort of be better than Giroud, and them two to challenge each other. Because I mean, the squad's doing well at the moment in certain positions where they've got competition for places, and we should have two good players in every position. And up front is one of them areas where we haven't got that at the moment. So, we do need to bring someone in. It's whether we do or not, and it's who that's available at the moment, because it doesn't seem to be anybody that is really looking to move, is there, really?
Could you give us a name?
No, I only watch Arsenal.
Fair enough.
I don't do fucking transfer speculation bollocks, mate. It bores the fucking tears out of me.
No,
but like I say, from what I've read, I don't know. I mean, I got completely fucking laughed at about 2 years ago when I said that Benteke from Villa would give us a slightly different option. And you see how well he's doing at the moment when he's actually had sort of, a run of games where he's been fully fit. So, I mean, maybe that's an option. Who knows, really? And like I say, who knows what Wenger, if he's still in charge next season, is likely to do.
So, Gav's put out a name there. Would anyone like to interject about Benteke? I mean, do we think that this is a good signing, or do we think that we should be going along the lines of Karim Benzema or a Cavani? Is Benteke a little bit too lightweight? I mean,
he's Premier League ready, and he's banging form. He scored against Liverpool to get into the final. It's a big game right there. He's scoring in big games. I've always been a massive lover of Benteke. His first season in the Premier League was exceptional. And, he's obviously had a dry patch, but then a lot of players do. But then, you think of the class of players that are playing behind him. Who knows what if he had a ball from Ozil play through to him, or a deep line ball play from Santi. Who knows what he could get on the end of.
No, that's very true. Raj?
I've heard today that Benteke is on his way to Roma, or Roma are very interested in him. So if we're thinking of buying anyone, and if Benteke is in our radar, which I don't think he is, we better get cracking, because it looks like some clubs are already making little deals now before even the window's open. In fact, other names, got no idea. I don't really get involved with that, same with Gav, but I don't hold to this idea that players aren't available. I think we've got the money, just offer it. If we have to pay an extra couple of million or £3 or £4 million, then fine. I don't agree with this argument that there's no one out there.
No. Would you prefer to see us go and get our business done early than a last mad dash scramble like it always seems to be?
Well, yeah. Well, I've been saying for the last couple of pods that I've been on that if we'd stayed at second place, I know Jeff kind of semi-disagreed, but it allows us to do our business early if we don't have to qualify for the Champions League. But now we've kind of ballsed it up a little bit, and it looks like we'll be playing in August, so we'll have that bloody excuse that, we're waiting for us to qualify before we can do any business. But that's ridiculous. We're Arsenal Football Club. We should do the business in July and get it over and done with. We have done that in the past. I don't see why we can't do it now.
No, I agree with you.
I'll tell you what, though, the Arsenal boardroom love the Champions League qualifier because it's more money. It's an extra game that they can cash in on at home.
Yeah, it's like a cup credit as well, isn't it?
Exactly. So they're not going to go, I don't want that money. Come on. They know what they're doing.
But
I heard rumours today that Royce was kind of like on his way to us, like proper talks happening.
Really?
So I don't know. So I don't know what's going on. So there's definitely going to be some activity, and the kind of rumblings you hear, it looks like it could be early stuff. So that's good. I'm well happy about that.
Was he shown around all the training ground? I think last year.
Tim Stillman was saying something or talking to someone about it.
I'm sure wasn't that Mario Götze that was shown?
Was it Götze? Was it?
Yeah, I'm sure it was Götze that was because
I know there was a German that was shown around everywhere, and then he got injured, and then that was kind of the end of it.
Draxler.
That's the one.
The problem with Götze is at the moment, when they got him from my team, Borussia Dortmund, they were looking at Götze and they were also looking at Neymar, but they persuaded Guardiola to go for Götze rather than Neymar because he's a German international, he's a German player, he's already set up for the German football, and he's gone there and he hasn't really done much compared to what he did at Dortmund, where he was one of their best players. So there's been rumours that there's even going to be a swap deal with him and Gundogan, just him going back to Dortmund, which I don't think he'll want to do because he shit on the fans by telling him he was going to leave before the Champions League final, so he didn't play in it. I personally think he faked injury, and so I think it could be off for a move for the Premier League. But yeah, he's a great player.
There are big rumours today coming out in the press that we are actually back in for him. Would we take Götze? Because I was sat there and I was thinking, I couldn't think where we fit him into that squad. I mean, we've got Ramsey who wants to play down the middle. We've got Ozil who will play in that position as well. I mean, the only way that I could feasibly see him fitting in is if we got rid of Santi.
No, I think the best place for Götze to play would have to be Sanchez on the left. I mean, Sanchez on the left, Götze in the middle, and Ozil on the right, because he's more of a kind of Ozil kind of player. But then Ozil doesn't play well out wide, although if you start out wide, doesn't mean you play out wide. But we cannot keep playing Ramsey on the right because he doesn't track back enough. But although he did do quite well against Swansea, even though we lost, I think he did have a good game. In parts when it comes to tracking back. But I think the best way, if you're going to play Ramsey on the right, then you have to play Debuchy behind him. You can't play Bellerin because Bellerin's usually off on the run. I'll shut up now.
On Twitter, interestingly, they were talking about Götze today, and the same question kept coming out: what would happen? Who would be the casualty? And every single person that I saw on my timeline said Santi. Most people said that he'd be on the bench, and some people said that he'd probably go during the summer if this transfer happened. So, interesting times.
There was a lot of talk, Raj, that he would be off in the summer, and everyone was like, well, I can't see why that would happen.
Arscast was saying that, and so was Gunnar Blog, who was with him. And then I think they said, because he's got 1 year left on his contract, but we had a look, and his contract runs out in 2018. So I don't think that Wenger's going to go to all the hassle of converting him from either a wide player or where he was playing brilliantly at the start of the season in the Ozil role to now playing him in a fantastic position in the central midfield and doing everything there with the quietest feet in football. I think he's converted him to play him there, and he'll be there for the foreseeable future.
I mean, another little thing that I heard last summer was that he actually wanted to go back to Spain.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's all very interesting. I mean, he started the season very, very slowly, didn't he? I remember at the start of the season we were all going, well, where does he fit into the team? He's the possible casualty. He had a few bad performances, and it seemed like the fans had sold him down the river. But, what he's done in the second half of the season, I think he's probably been one of our best players. He's just been...
He just wants to play in the middle. He just wants to be involved. He wants to play in the middle, and he's the sort of player that you need. But it's like, how you accommodate him and Ozil, and obviously Coughlin's been behind him has been the solution. It's like I say, I mean, I hark back to one of the first pods we'd done at the beginning of the season, where I said that Wenger's sort of biggest problem that he's got this year is actually fitting everybody on the pitch at the same time. And it was only due to the fact of obviously all the injuries that we've had, that Coughlin come back and suddenly it's clicked. So sometimes you need that little bit of luck, or you need something going your way before you can sort of click everybody in the right place, really.
No, that's very, very true. I mean, if we go through the boys now and we just give a quick, as in what do we need, and who is the player to fill that spot? Danny, who would you like to see come in, and who do you think is that player to fill that spot?
I think we need to get rid of Theo, and we need to have an out-and-out right-sided midfielder, much in the way that Gnabry plays the game, where he's running down the right wing, and you can bump into him all you want, and he's going fucking nowhere other than down the bottom, cross it, because Theo, gush of wind, and he's gone. So I think we need, because Gnabry's going to be playing a bigger part next season after having virtually an entire season written off through injury. I think it's going to be, there was a few players we've been linked with on the right-hand side.
Is Sterling down the right-hand side? Or
no,
is
I don't want him and all his 50,000 kids.
Why can't Alex play down the right then?
Alex's dad has always said that that's the Ox. His best position is in the central midfield, attacking midfield, the kind of role that Santi's playing at the moment. He's always said that that's going to be his best role, because I think he's got. I mean, look at that goal he scored against Monaco. That just shows the kind of flair and ambition the player's got. But we all know that he doesn't score enough goals. But then again, he's not really had much of a run, has he?
No.
He needs to have at least a good season. Come back to me in a minute, and I'll tell you who I'd like on the right hand side.
Okay, then we'll go Stevie next.
I think we're quite adept with players for the right-hand side. I think that we're more in need of somebody who can play on the left side of the field. And, I wouldn't mind Bale, something like that, but I'd settle for Royce. So I'd settle for Royce. Play on the left, Sanchez on the right. Wow. Ozil in the middle. That's just beautiful. But I think we've been crying out for a left-sided midfielder, left-sided winger for quite a while now. Hence the reason why we used to have to play Santi over on the left and Podolski on the left and adapt Sanchez to play on the left. And it's just, we need someone to play on the left.
No, very true. Raj, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to Royce. I still think, and I'll still go on about it, that we still need another striker up front. I'm not too sure whether we'll add too many midfielders to our lineup this year. I just find it really interesting, actually, because I don't really like getting involved in speculation and stuff. But if you have these players like Royce signing and stuff like that, there's just going to be some major casualties. I think Danny's right. Theo's going to go. A lot of people, as we just said, think that Santi might be a casualty as well. So it's hard choices for the manager, and hopefully he'll get the right ones in. But I personally think strikers more important than anything else.
I think if you look at it, we've got players like Podolski out on loan. I mean, how much does he take up of the wage bill? 110,000, is it? Something
Probably,
ridiculous like that. I mean, you clear those players that you named, like Santi, who I think it would be a loss, but as long as he was replaced with someone like Mario Götze, I think that would be superb. And you look at Walcott as well. You've got to be talking a good £300,000 a week straight off the wage bill with just those players alone. Is it inconceivable that we could go out and just get again another marquee signing, Gav?
I think we're going to.
Yeah, so do I.
I mean, we're all set up now to do the one big marquee signing every summer. What we really need to do is to sort of fill up the spaces where we're weak and, like I say, perhaps, make a choice, where it comes to players like Rosicky, as well, and Arteta, to whether or not they are taking up wages and whether or not, we can actually do better with them and sort of trim down and get better players at the same time. But, I mean, I think we're going to get a right-sided, attacking player. Knowing Wenger, it'll be somebody that can perhaps play up front and play properly wide down the right at the same time.
Thomas Muller.
Who?
Thomas Muller.
Yeah, someone like Thomas Muller, obviously.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? We just kind of, it's like every summer we say we're two or three good players away from really, really challenging. And if we had a good start to the season this season, we probably would be challenging Chelsea. But, we've got to do our business early. And like I say, it's just maybe a decent forward if we can get one, a right-sided attacker, get rid of people like Walcott, Arteta, Rosicky, Sonogo, Campbell,
Flamini,
Diaby, Flamini,
Arteta.
I mean, like I say, there's a good half a dozen players there that you can free up off the wages.
Do you know how much they're on, guys? Flamini's on 65 grand a week. Diaby's on 65 grand a week. You know, and if you get rid of Walcott and Podolski as well, that's over £330,000 a week saved up. And that's just by 4 players that one of them's on loan, one of them's permanently injured, and one of them's, you know, he's done his bit for us, and thanks very much.
It's not even that though. I mean, we could probably keep the wage bill as high as it is at the moment, or even increase the wage bill, and the club is still going to be heavily in profit. But like I say, I mean, you know, I do think it's just going to be a case of hopefully the one major marquee signing again. I mean, I'd love Snell-Glynn from Southampton to prop up the middle, and then that's more or less it. Really, a decent keeper, if a decent keeper is about, and that's it. Like I say, the 3 players we need, really.
We'll go over to Danny next, because you still haven't answered, have you, Danny?
Yeah, I was thinking, what do we want to do? If we're going to go for marquee, like I know that they've said many times, we've got enough money to get one marquee player every season. Gareth Bale is fucked at Real Madrid. He is a brilliant, brilliant player, and imagine having him on the left-hand side, then, you know, like the thing you were saying, which I don't know which one of you said it. Then we
play on the right as well, Dan.
Yeah, but play Sanchez on the right, him on the left. As a marquee signing, someone's going to cost us 40-50 million quid. Get him in, if only to make our very own Mr. Davies orgasmic every time he plays. But there was the player I was thinking about who's been linked with us is at Dortmund. Here we go. I'm going to fuck this up, aren't I? Abunga Yamang. He can play.
Aubameyang.
Yeah. Well, it's not my fault. His name's not Trevor. It's because if people are listening to this who aren't from the UK, you get mixture of letters that don't go. And everyone's slightly dyslexic and stuff. Like whenever I think of the word bed, the word to get a B and a D the right way round, I have to imagine the word bed. Then that's how I know how a B and the D go the right way round. So when you lot are laughing at me, this means that I should get some more money off the government because I can't read properly.
You sound like a broken spring half the time.
Oh, no, it's not right, is it?
Do you have an L on one hand and an R on the other?
I don't know. I have Gimli on one side, and then I have Gav on the left, so I know which one's left wing and right wing. That's the other way around, isn't it? Right, yeah, so he's...
change you're wanking with.
Oh, yeah, he's both. Have to. Hey!
Like a Coke can.
One for the magnifying glass. Anyway, so old Patrick, he can play, Irish legend, he can play on the right wing, the left wing, but most importantly, he's right-footed. So I remember when he had his season in France, he was playing for, I think, Saint-Etienne, he was brilliant. There's going to be a load of players moving around at Dortmund at the moment, so although he is mainly in the support striker role, he can play out wide. But I also like Kevin De Bruyne of Wolfsburg, another player who's had a great season. He's both.
City.
He's going. Yeah, he'll go City.
Fuck's sake! So my first choice would be to get the Welsh legend in, and I don't Mr. Davies, but yeah, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Imagine him and Ramsey playing together.
He'll cost more than £50 million though.
They want rid of him. They're never going to get back the 86 they paid for him, and they know they're not.
But do you not think he was massively found out at Real Madrid?
No,
I mean, let's
definitely
not.
When you play with Ronaldo, the greediest player in football, everyone's fucked.
You see how annoyed he gets when anybody else scores?
The fucking little mincing twat. Sorry.
Proper, exactly that.
All right, before this gets any more unpolitically correct.
No, I just thought I'd plug today's blog, which was written by Keno's, who done a massive blog about why Gareth Bale should be our number one target in the summer.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, well, that's it. Shewar.com. Go on there, have a read.
Yep, go and have a read.
I'm not eating a cream donut at all. I forgot I should mute myself, shouldn't I?
You sounded very camp then. Oh, go on. Go on.
Basically, he goes through all the statistics of how many games and goals and assists, etc. And like I say, you compare it to that Portuguese Puff Darlene. You know, it's not that great, but you compare him to sort of top Premiership players, and his stats are actually quite good this year, Gareth Bale. He's just the whipping boy, hasn't he? He's just turned into the whipping boy out there, hasn't he?
No, it's 28 games, 13 goals, 8 assists. Hazard's having the best season of his career with 35 games, 14 goals and 8 assists.
I think he did score a particularly cracking goal earlier in the season, didn't he, where he took it from the sidelines, took it round someone, literally run like well off the pitch, and then just dribbled it back round and just dinked it over the keeper. I did see that. See, Gareth Bale for me,
Why haven't the fans taken him to him out there though?
I think partly because of the amount of money that he's cost. I mean, when you cost £86 million, then they're expecting you to be another Ronaldo. But people can say, with the best player, Ronaldo or Messi, if you're playing with Messi, it's an absolute dream, and he won't think twice about passing. Pardon me, but passing you the ball. If you're playing with Ronaldo, if you don't give him all of the ball all the time, then he just gets fucked off and he has a face like a smacked arse. That's why nobody likes Ronaldo and everybody loves Messi.
Put the custard cream down, fat ass. You're doing a podcast.
I'm eating it now, missus.
Oh,
it just don't make sense, because, I mean, he's scoring literally more or less a goal every other game.
Yeah, which is really good. But look, I mean, if you had Messi playing for Real Madrid, then you're going to have the likes of Benzema and Bale scoring more goals. Like, because Messi's doing so well and such a nice and helpful player at Barcelona, that's why Neymar and old Bitey Bollocks, that's why they're scoring so many goals, because they work as a team. Ronaldo doesn't work as a team. That's why Portugal are shit, because he's a one-man team.
Put it into perspective like this, guys. Barcelona obviously beat Bayern Munich on aggregate, but it was a 3-2 win to Bayern Munich in the second leg. Neymar had 2 goals. He was in on goal. He could have got his hat-trick. He then squares the ball over to give Messi the goal. I don't see Ronaldo squaring the ball to nobody to deny him his hat-trick.
No, it doesn't happen.
Just give you some stats on. I know this isn't a Bale loving. He's played 57 La Liga games, scored 28 goals. His last season, when he played for the N17 Scum, he scored 21 in 33. I know there's the age-old thing where Wenger said, we don't need Bale, we've got Gael Clichy, but that was when he was an out-and-out left-back, because at one point, in 08-09, for playing for that lot, 16 games, no goals. In that season, 30 games, 0 goals. They were thinking of shipping him out on loan to a championship side. That's how underrated he was. But look, he's also getting half decent. He's got 7 assists. Now he's got the pace. He's still what is he? He's about 23, 24, something like that. Yeah, 25. He's 26 in July, and his middle name's Frank. I mean, that's good enough the reason to buy anyone.
No, the best reason of trying to buy a Bale would be just to fucking wind up the Scum even more.
You put it so politely. I'd have had odds of 7-4 that you'd have used a more nasty word, but well done.
Well, thank you very much.
That's it. Don't make it. Let it happen again.
I heard cunt was at evens.
Dear, just don't use the Y word. My mate is a season ticket. I'm not going to use it. He's season ticket holder at Spurs. Every time he comes round it, he sings it. His little boy sings it. My next door neighbour is Jack. He's an 87-year-old Spurs fan, and he's Jewish, and he even sings it or says it to me. So it's so hard not to say the Y word. But I've managed to never say it on a pod, even though they come round here and sing it to me, the swines.
Yes, we will move on from that then. And
do you want him, Gim? Yes or no?
Do I want him? I prefer Royce.
Fellow countryman, Gim.
Yeah, one of your very own, and he's a bit ginger.
Don't fucking start.
Looks like a monkey, just like you as well.
He can pick up things with his feet, just like you.
I actually paint my toenails yellow, so I walk around the room picking up kittens and pretending to be an eagle. Yes, enough of my personal life. Danny, if you want to
I've genuinely no idea where you got that from.
It's not.
Do you want to do some Twitter and Facebook questions?
I think that stardust you got from that man on the corner might not have been stardust.
Well, I shouldn't have put it on my nose, to be fair, but...
It's crackling. Right, we've got some quite good Twitter questions here. We're only going to read out 5 Twitter and 5 Facebook.
No, read more, because we're losing time. There's no other segment other than United preview.
You ready for this?
Yes.
I'll just press start on the stopwatch. Thank you. I just have. You told me to do it when the pod started. Oh dear. All right, Josh Robinson. I think with Gabriel, Cos and BFG plus Chambers, we are good enough at centre-back to compete next season. Do you, Mr. Raj?
I would think that Arsene Wenger probably thinks the same thing as well. So I'll be very surprised if we got brought as centre-back in next season. So I agree with who was the listener?
It was the legend that is Josh Robinson. Nothing to do with the fruit drink makers.
I think Josh Robinson is spot on. I don't think we'll even consider buying anything in defence.
Well, there you go then. Have you got any wise words on this, Mr. Gimli?
No, I just think that Gabriel will probably get eased into it even more and more next season, to the point that he takes over from Mertesacker. And that'll be your swap. And then probably the season after that, that's when we'll go and look at a defender. But as for next season, no.
Stevie?
Yeah, I think Gimli pretty much nailed it there, to be honest with you. Gabriel's going to be eased in to sort of take over and from Mertesacker. I don't think centre-back's the position that we should be looking at to strengthen at all.
Anything on this, Gav?
I think that he should start looking for centre-backs now because it takes him 2 years to fucking buy one.
Right, Pete Gooner, who has only just started blogging, so go and have a look at him on Twitter and have a look at his blogs. He's a budding blogger. If we sell, when you send in Twitter questions, I know you can't put it all so it flows perfectly. If we were to sell Theo to Liverpool, should we make sure that Sterling is part of the deal, or would we try and get another Liverpool player, Gimli?
I'd take Sterling. I really would. I think he's fantastic potential. I think he's had a relatively good season. I mean, it does worry me that he's got a touch of the Anelkas about him, and that he's just a horrible little gobshite. But
Feeling you there.
But I do think the other thing with it as well is that if Arsenal signed him 2 years, he'd be at Real Madrid.
Yep. Oh.
But at least you would be able to get your money back and more out of him, and you'd get a couple of seasons out of him. So, yeah, why not?
Plus all the letters from the CSA demanding that you give them part of his wages for his menagerie of offspring.
Hasn't he got about 5 children already? He's only about 12.
He's just shit out another 3 this week.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes. No, we can't say that, can we?
This pod has turned into a politically incorrect pod.
Well, he can't
PC,
shit
guys,
them out,
PC.
can he?
I
Can't
personally
shit them out,
think
he's a
it
man.
went downhill when Gadsev puffed us, to be honest with you. But
That's when I was about to say, as soon as Pufter came out, I thought, oh no, here we go.
Is that not? Oh dear, won't even go there.
It's taking that turn.
Remember, it's at She War if you want to get hold of Gav and send him abuse, but get in line because there's plenty of people who want to give him abuse. But that's why we love him.
Ronaldo a fucking puff, that was all. Do you know what I mean?
You didn't mean it though, did you?
No, I didn't mean it for his sexuality. I just meant on his performance on the pitch.
he's a bit poncy.
Yeah.
Look, I'll put the spade away. And we'll just carry on.
Oh, dear.
It's funny that you mention. I'll tell you who runs a bit Nancy-like. Sterling. He loves. He's
He's right up for a mince.
Have you seen that bum wiggle from him as well?
He loves.
Jesus.
And it's not me that's noticed it. Like my girlfriend's noticed it. So you know what I mean. She goes, he runs a bit like a girl.
Kate said to me the other day, that boy got ass.
I didn't realise your missus was American. Oh, dear.
Hey, anyone you got time for that?
Oh, I ain't drinking no milk. Right, anyone else got anything to say on what Pete says?
Sterling.
Should we get Sterling as well?
Yeah,
Sterling,
yeah, go on, sorry, go on.
I was just going to read his stats out in the Premier League this year.
Go on, Em. You do that. Look at you taking
I'm
control.
doing a bit of research at the same time, yeah?
What's all this stat business with you?
Multitasking.
Have you gone a bit mathematic or something?
No, it's on the Fantasy Football League and he's in the team.
He's turned a bit wet, I reckon.
He's played 2,957 minutes in the Premier League. And
How many games does that work out to be?
that works out to be, well, you divide that by 99, it's about 33, 34.
Jesus, well done. You didn't have to take your shoes off.
No, that's pretty good. And he has scored 7 and assisted 10.
This is what you want from a winger, I suppose, to assist more than they score. Or if you're Theo's case, neither.
And last year he played less minutes, scored more goals, slightly less assists.
Oh.
And that was that. But, I mean, like 9 goals last year, 7 goals so far this year in the league. It's alright. He's still young, isn't he?
But do you think he'd be urging for a move to Spain as soon as possible, though?
I would think that Wenger would promise him, look, what we'll do is we'll start you off on the right and then we'll pull you through the middle like I did with Henry. I think that'll be Wenger's
He's
sales
got that
pitch
pace, and that pace is amazing.
Yeah.
And an eye for goal.
He does look like he knows where the goal is, so...
No good to us, then.
I don't know.
His ability to go round people is just phenomenal as well. Was it QPR? And I think we had a go at him the first time. And
That's who Liverpool stole him from.
Yeah, he chose to go to Liverpool, didn't he? But we were linked with him the first time he came available. And there were a lot of people said that we should have signed him then. But, we'll see.
And looking at this, the last 9 games, which has really been when Liverpool have sort of dropped away, haven't they?
Yeah.
He's only got 1 goal and 1 assist in the last nine games, and he's literally played every minute of the game. So
because the Messiah's been back, hasn't he? Busy slipping over and fucking shit up.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's jury out. I think whoever buys him or wherever he goes next, you're taking a bit of a risk, really, and he's going to be top dollar as well, isn't he?
You got anything to say on this, the Rev?
Apart from being I'm a bit surprised about Gav's kind of knowledge on stats and stuff.
Worrying, isn't it?
I don't know. He's like someone different now, isn't he? So, Sterling, I think, should be part of the deal if Theo goes. I think it's good business. And if we get him, great. And if he goes off 3 years' time to Spain, I think Wenger will develop him and probably triple his value. So it's a win-win for me.
You said your bit on this, Stevie?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier in the podcast that I feel that we need to have a mean player, someone that is a bit vicious, someone who's got a bit of an attitude to really spice things up, to push players to the next level. Because if you've got a nice guy going, it's all right, well done, you're all right, next time I'll be all right, you just go, oh, okay then. So you need someone to really just go, that was a load of shit, you need to play better. So, and I feel Sterling could do that and bring that. He's got an attitude, and he's obviously a fantastic player. He drags Liverpool through games a lot of the time. So I would love to see him.
I think, actually I would like to see him there, but I think he's going to be a lot of trouble, and he's not going to be there for very long. So, okay, the next question. Craig Murphy. What would be a successful season next season? What would be an unacceptable season next season? Is a big one, Mr. Gimli.
Sorry, I was just typing in the chat box. I didn't hear what you said. I can multitask. I can't cover both. What did you say? A question again?
Oh, you're always recording. That's nice to see.
Yeah.
Right, Craig Murphy. I don't think he's any relation to RoboCop.
To be sure.
Yes. Don't say that. My mum will hear it, and she'll chuck a potato at you. As long as it doesn't have the candles in.
From a caravan!
Is there anyone we haven't offended yet?
Oi,
We're going for the full scope, yeah.
No.
I'm sure we'll find someone.
Not thinking of the Scottish.
We're moving to Asia next.
Oh, Jesus. He says, what would be a successful season next season, and what would not be would be an unacceptable season? Next season is a big one for us.
I think as long as you build on what you did the year before, I'd like to think a domestic cup, whether it be a FA Cup or a Cock Cup or whatever they decide to call that.
The Emirates Cup, I think, is going to be.
The Emirates Cup, wonderful.
Means we're through to the final as a bye.
Two of them in the old trophy cabinet. Can't whinge at that. Happy days. I genuinely think buy the right players this summer, and you could push Chelsea all the way. I think that we've got the foundations there of a very, very good squad. The morale is obviously there as well. Alexis Sanchez, after one season, no doubt next year he will be even better once he's properly settled within that squad. For me, next season it's got to be a domestic cup, maybe a Premier League, a top two, and Champions League quarters.
So what would not be good?
No trophies, and just outside the top four. That would be a shit season, wouldn't it?
Steve? E?
Cheers. I feel that we should be challenging for the title next season. I think that's paramount. You need to build on what we've bought. We've bought this season. There should be a marquee signing every single season, like the board promised, and we should build on from there.
And a bad season?
Bad season is not in the top four, and just crashing out of everything. Just like Gimli said, to be honest with you. We're used to top four football, and people take that for granted, I feel. There's a lot of clubs that don't even get into that ever. So, I'm very happy. This is what I mean.
That was well counted again. Look at him. Old Carol Vorderman there.
You're very good at multitasking.
For that one.
Nice.
3 years he's been waiting for that.
Brilliant.
Written down in front of the fucking laptop. Dan, do you know what I mean? Come on, someone say it.
The thing is, you've got, Danny, all the clubs next season are going to be strengthening. So even teams like Everton, that shit up the road, they're going to be strengthening. And not even if it's not only to make our team better, but we have to keep up with that. I mean, it's so easy to drop out of the top four with competition. I mean, Man United are going to go out and just spunk shitloads of money up against the wall. Whether that turns out that they've bought players that actually do anything for them this time, that's a different matter. But you've got to strengthen just to keep up with the pack and then move on from there.
Raj, lay some shit down. Truthful shit.
Oh, he's eating Ferrero Rocher again.
Is he?
He's got himself muted. Oh.
He's got a bag of
sorry.
sandwiches.
And this is where we move to Asia, people.
He's got a
God.
suitcase full of sandwiches and biscuits from yesterday. He's still working his way through it.
No, I've got chocolate orange today, so...
Oh,
anyway, what I was going to say was Steve was absolutely spot on. I don't think we've got a God-given right to win trophies, so I don't really wish or expect trophies. I think, for me personally, if we challenge for the Premier League, i.e. we're there or thereabouts in the last 3 or 4 games of the season, then I think that's a pretty good season for us. I think transfer-wise, we'll get that marquee signing. But I'm sick and tired of being 2 or 3 players away. I've been saying that for 4 or 5 years now. And I think it's inexcusable if we go through another summer without making the right purchases. But for me, it's just a challenge for the Premier League. I think, if we're there or thereabouts, then I'll be happy about that.
Who hasn't answered this? You, Gav, is it?
Yeah, I just agree with Raj, really.
As long as we finish 4th, you're happy.
No, of course I'm bloody not happy. Do you know what I mean? I'm not happy if we lose the fucking coin toss. Do you know what I mean? We should be, like I say, Wenger actually said, last summer, we should win the league within 2 years, and next season's going to be the second year of that 2-year spell that he said. We should have made a better fist of it this year. Like I say, let's hope that he's learnt the lessons. Let's hope that he's learnt from the mistakes that was made last summer, and we don't make them again this summer. And like I say, we can sit here at the beginning of the season and say, right, we've got the squad. We're not missing a centre back. We're not missing a defensive midfielder. We're not missing another striker. In our opinion, we've got the players that we need to compete. And that's all. To me, that would be a success. A successful season going into next year would be to have a team in place, a squad in place that can challenge. If we challenge, if we do well from there, then we do well from there. But just having the squad in place for the first time in bloody ages, that would make me happy.
Well, there you go. Right. Next question. This is a really good one from Carl, who is at that London guy. Only reading out his at because there's many people called Carl. Right, I've added a little bit to this because he couldn't put it all in 140. Why this season have we had so much trouble beating lesser teams? Hull 2-2 at home, Palace 2-1 home and away, Leicester 2-1 at home and 1-1 away. And then I've also added to this Burnley 1-0 away, QPR 2-1 at home. Raj?
Ruthlessness. It's as simple as that. Same as what happened on Monday. It's that final 10% that we're missing at the moment. If we can change up the way we play against some of these teams, we could probably win the Premier League title because we've improved against the big teams this year. There's no doubt about that.
Couldn't have got worse.
But I mean, we've just got to have that ruthlessness in putting these teams away, and we're not doing it. We sometimes get tagged as being flat track bullies, but unfortunately not this season.
Gimli?
I'd like to go back to an old question that someone sent in, probably a few years now, to this podcast, where they said, should we shoot more? And I think that is...
If you change your mind, we shouldn't.
No. I think that's probably the problem.
Okay, there you go. That's that done. Gav, if you can get your breath back.
Yeah, no, I really think that against the bigger teams and with the pace that we've now got in the side, we're kind of set out really as a very, very good counter-attacking team. Now, when we come across teams that want to sit back, want to stick 5 or 6 across the midfield, we then kind of suffer from that, really. So, yes, we haven't got the ruthlessness to sort of break down the teams that are just literally coming to defend and hit us on the break, but at the same time, we do the same to other teams. So it's just kind of weird, really, isn't it? It's just kind of weird how it's all really works out. Look, I mean, we've won a couple of games this year when we had sort of like 35% possession, and we just sort of smacked them on the break. And it's kind of like sometimes we don't know how to do the other one. Are you with me on this? Am I sort of explaining this correctly?
It do make sense. I think it doesn't help the fact that these teams, when they're playing against us, they know if they play football, we're going to murder them, so they don't play football. None of those teams are knowing for playing football, apart from Leicester in the last run of about 7 or 8 games. They have been playing some half-decent football, bit of confidence, doing well. But the rest of those teams, not footballing teams, they just play to lose by as little as possible. Stevie, what do you think on it?
Like I've been saying this entire podcast, we're too nice. We're just too nice, and we pay people way too much respect, and we get pushed over for it. That's it, man. Nice guys finish last.
Can I say, right? I mean, obviously, one of the turning points of how we was actually playing on Monday was when Coughlin come off and Wilshire come on. I mean, there is a sort of a school of thought really out there. Look, the home games against the teams that are going to come and play 6 across the middle. Is there much point in playing a defensive midfielder for them games?
I mean, it has been nice to see Wenger actually not only doing earlier subs this season, or the latter half of this season, but also taking off a defensive player when we don't need to have a defensive player on there when he's going for the ball. And I think Jack has been brilliant the 2 games that he's come on. But I think you do have a point. What's the point in playing someone? Because I thought it's fantastic the way, one little moment against Swansea, there's a few moments that were beautiful, but one was when Coughlin got the ball, ran forward, passed it, then ran back. That was fantastic. He doesn't give a shit about assists or scoring goals. All he wants to do is do his job, and that is a thing of beauty that we have missed for so long. If that had been Alex Song, he'd have got the ball and ran at the goal with it, and then we'd have lost possession and they'd have scored.
Yeah, but like I say, is there a point for in games like that?
Definitely at home.
For not actually even starting Coughlin in the first place.
Yeah, that's why squad rotation. Much like crop rotation in the 14th century.
Well, is that not where someone like Schneidlin would come in and do a really, really good job?
Well, because he can do both.
Yes, exactly.
And he's added goals to his abilities this season.
So you, as I said on Stevie's podcast last night, surely having Coughlin and Schneidlin there means it gives you the option to rotate and use the tactics against different teams. So people don't rock up and expect to get a certain Arsenal, because I think that's part of our problem is we've been far too predictable in recent years. Yeah, we've like I say, as the question was, we've lost too many points against bottom half teams this season. That's why we're 14 points, and I did check the stats on that one, Raj, off the top at the moment. So that's really where we've gone wrong this year, which is normally the reverse. The reverse, like last year, was the fact that the top 5 or 6 hammered us.
I'm just looking at Schneidlin's goals. I thought he's back on the scoring path. He got 5 a couple of years ago. He's misled me. He got 3 goals in the first 4 games of the Premier League season, and he's only scored 2 others since then.
He has been injured, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he's only played 30 games all season, so he's missed quite a few. But they were also linked with us getting Wanyama, who is, I think, more of a Vieira kind of big hulking midfielder who's going to do some damage. Because I remember when he was at Celtic, he didn't fuck around, which is something that I like.
Oh, the other fellow at Southampton.
Yeah, he's very good.
We've also been linked with Virgil van Dijk as well, because
Celtic centre-back.
I just think it would be wonderful to have a big Dijk in the middle of the field.
We'd fall in it, though.
Oh, God.
Anyway, right, Ellis Mill says, is there, I want a one-word answer from each of you, unless it's double-barrelled, unless it's Maitland-Niles, want one word. Is there anyone currently in the squad who you could see having a breakthrough season next season?
Akpom.
Okay, Stevie.
I was going to say Akpom as well, because he's very quick. So, but I'll change it up and say Zelalem.
No.
No.
No, there's no one.
Nah, you're probably right. Raj?
I was hoping Nabry might do it next year, but...
I don't think that counts, does it? He's played quite a few first-team games already.
Yeah, but he hasn't really broken through, has he? I mean, he hasn't really established himself. I think he's the best bet. I mean,
who would have bet Bellerin?
Yeah,
he could go in the way that Bellerin's gone next year. I'd back him on that. Yeah.
How many games Gnabry's played? I've just had a look. I had
2.
no idea.
40.
No, 19.
19. Well, there you go.
One goal. That's all competitions.
Yeah, and he hasn't broken through, has he?
He's only 20 in July.
That's fine. So that's what I'm saying. Next year he could break through.
I have big hopes
He
for him.
could be next year's Bellerin, couldn't he?
I'm going to say super Dan Crowley, future England legend. There you got Stephen O'Connor, Irish legend. He'll be out on loan at Barnet. Good. Right. That one done?
Before we move on, did anybody see Nabry's goal?
No, not yet.
Bielik, the midfielder, gave him an assist, and it was he slotted it home very calmly, like Thierry Henry.
It was a superb goal.
Was very nice.
Where they play Bielik? Sometimes I see he plays at centre back, then sometimes in midfield. Or is he just trying him everywhere?
Just sticking him up everywhere, mate. Just put him in every position.
Lovely.
Just bending him over.
He's like one of them films you watch, Danny.
How dare you? Right, this one from someone called Jason Shredder. Don't know who that is. Why are fans so quick to say, this Facebook questions, we need to buy, insert world-class player name here, when one of our guys has a bad game and makes a mistake? People are claiming Ospina isn't good enough because of one goal he let in v Swansea. Are they so fickle we won't even give players a chance to develop and become world-class? Go on, Gimli.
See, this is something that we spoke about in the WhatsApp group, because Davies was actually like, oh no, he's terrible. You signed him as a number 2. He's never going to make it. So,
that's more Ruth Maddox than
it was.
Heidi
hi.
Heidi-ho.
But no, I'm one of those people. I don't think Ospina made a mistake. Yes, Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville are all wrong. I think Ospina has had a great season. If you'd have told him at the start of the season he would be playing as many games as he has done, he'd be absolutely over the moon. It's the guy's first season. Cut him some slack. He's there because Szczesny he's a liability. And for me, personally, if we got to get rid of one at this moment in time, it's Szczesny all day long. Insert hatred at Guna Gimli.
Raj, bring some sense to this.
I don't know. Well, I don't think Kim answered the question. To be quite honest,
nor do I. I think he's been quite political about it.
No, I think people moan on about it after a defeat or a draw. It's because they've got that. They have the platform to now, haven't they?
And it's an instant gratification.
Yeah, 15, 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, we wouldn't have given a shit. We wouldn't be talking like we're talking now.
We
didn't have the social media platforms to discuss this at length and bore everyone shitless.
We'd all be sat on teletext looking at the
everyone's
scores.
got an opinion, so you just disregard the opinions. And I mean, we're never going to buy all these players that people keep going on about. That's why I get so bored. That's why people like me and Gav and others that just don't get involved in it. So it's just the sign of the times that people have now got the opportunity to express these opinions. That's all it is.
Steve, go on.
You signed a number 2 goalkeeper. You've got yourself a number 2 goalkeeper. I'm not taking anything away from Ospina. I think he's come in and he's done a fantastic job. But there is a goalkeeper out there that we need to sign to be coming in as number 1. That's pretty much simple. Well, check. Jeez. Yeah, check every day of the week. Better check.
We're never going to get him, are they? What it will do is Chelsea will let him come to us for a medical and then break his hands.
No, he's going to Besiktas. He's already had talks with them. You're welcome.
Trabzonspor. That's my Turkish team. Come on, the Trabzonspor.
Kaleidoscope.
Thank you. Gav, have you finished doing whatever you were doing?
Yeah, go on. What, you're talking about goalies?
No, we're on about...
No one's asked the question apart from me. Steve didn't answer the question. Kim didn't answer the question.
Don't worry, Gav. I've deleted it now because I'm trying to keep up with this. Right, next question.
I the question, mate. I was going...
I know, you were away. I'll ask you this one. I'll ask you this one first. I've actually deleted it because I'm very OCD with my questions. So this one is from Michael Robert George Bullbeck, and he's put in brackets... Michael Robert George Bullbeck, and he's put in brackets Harry Bullbag. Harry Bullbag.
Harry Bullbag.
Oh, surely the keeper subject needs to be raised again. Not the greatest showing on Monday. Again, some real quality will be available in the summer, and Arsene Wenger needs to sort a keeper out, Gav. Go on. Give him what for?
Yeah.
Give the ball bag a smack.
Smack.
Do you care about goalies?
You know, that was like Pacquiao Mayweather. You expected the world, and it was just shit.
A damp squib.
To quote my learned colleague, goalkeepers are like drummers.
Oh, and is he the best drummer at the club?
No one cares.
Apparently McCartney was a better drummer.
I think I was a better
normally
drummer.
have a disability and good with their hands.
I don't even know where you're going with that.
I don't know. I'm really.
So I shouldn't have asked you a
like
goalie
him,
question.
I like him, and I also like Szczesny. And Szczesny's a bit mad, and top keepers tend to be a bit mad. And yeah, I don't like I say. I'd be happy if we went into next season with a pair of them. Really, as mad as that sounds, I just don't think that it's a huge issue. I don't think either one of them has made huge blunders, and neither one of them has made huge game-winning saves. It's just one of them. It's just keepers, aren't they?
Oh, my cat Lily agrees with you. We've already heard Stevie. He wants to get Czech. Raj, what do you think?
I don't think it's a priority for Oswinger, the goalkeeper.
Nope.
I think he'd be quite happy with the two that we've got at the moment. If Czech were to come along, he might be tempted, but again, he might just turn it down and say, no, I've got two, I'm happy with them. He's got other areas to fill.
Oh, Gimli, you going to answer this question, or are you going to talk about something completely different?
Can I just add, we've only got like £50 million to spend, so it's not as if we've got some sort of bottomless purse. So unless we actually sell some big players, then we're only going to get 2 players in, at best.
You're looking at a Marco Reus, that's all your money gone right there.
How much is he?
I would say you've got to be looking at about 50 million for Marco Reus, definitely.
Jesus Christ. Well, there you go. You'll get 25 for Theo, probably. So,
But then again,
if
Sterling is chucked into that, then you won't get anything. You'll probably end up
you won't
having
get.
to pay.
I tell you what, I'll ask you all a question. Royce and Schneiderlin are the only two that come in. Would you be happy?
Over the moon.
Under the Moon, yes, love it. What a TV show that was.
Depends who left.
Steve?
Yeah. I'd be ecstatic.
Gav?
Yeah. I'd be quite happy with a pair of them.
Okay,
That's going to cost you. That's going to cost you £75 million. Knock off the 50 that we've got as our budget, and then the 25 for Theo. So there you go, 75 million quid.
Oh, apparently I've just signed in on Skype.
That was easy. That was easy. We just worked it out. It was nice.
Okay, right. Next
We're
question
going to
from
win the league.
Facebook.
We're going to win the league.
James Kerr
We probably
says,
could do with those 2 players.
No, I'm being serious. I think we could.
Yeah, definitely. Especially now that we've what's his name? The bloke who's come in who does all the fitness stuff. American bloke. Chad Forsyth. The Arsenal equivalent to our very own Dom. This show's shit without Dom. Now that he's come in, we have got the best. The second half of the season, we've had the best injury record than any other Premier League team.
And if you go back to the beginning of the season,
the worst.
Yeah, if you go back to the beginning of the season, this is the pods there. We said in those pods at the beginning part of the season that Shad would not make overnight transformations, and it would take 6 to 8 months. And 6 to 8 months later, there you go. We've got a fully fit squad. So have some faith in him. Have some faith in him.
There you go, there's a song right there. Right, next question from James Kerr. He says he loves the pod, and thank you very much, James. With Arteta's contract situation still up in the air, well, we're not sure about that, are we, Raj? And the likelihood of Mertesacker becoming a squad player next season, who would you like to see captain the side? Even if not the official club captain, and he's put in brackets Vermaelen 13-14, but led the team out for the majority of games. I think Cos and Rambo would be worthy suitors. Cheers. Thank you very much, James. Gimli?
Rambo for me, I think.
Woof. Yeah. Okay. Gav?
Can I go last?
Okay. Raj?
Yeah, I thought Ramsey straight away. That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, very good question.
Well done, Mr. Kerr. Give yourself a pat on the back and have a banana. Not too big, though, and not eat it when it's green. Stevie?
And don't eat them in public whilst making eye contact with anyone.
Did you know that when I eat bananas, I eat 2 a day? I snap them in half and I eat them like that, like a real fucking man.
The brown ones.
No, they're not. I eat them when they're yellow, like a civilised human. Just because you've never seen a banana in Wales.
Since when did this become a Banana Wonderland podcast?
Well, the only time you see a banana in Wales is when Davies pops round yours, paints it yellow and sticks it through your letterbox.
So
Shouts banana.
If I saw a banana I was near you, I'd fucking poke it in your eye.
Oh, you horrid person. Answer the question.
Ramsey.
Okay, all right then. Who hasn't answered the question?
Me.
Go on, Steve.
So it's either Ramsey.
Ramsey.
You want Bambi?
It's spicing it up, Bambi. Or Santi.
You stood on a turtle. That's worse than Gav's laugh.
Ramsey or Santi is my choices, yeah.
Did you answer, Gav? I know you don't give a shit about the captain.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's got to be Ramsey or Shelny, isn't it? But if there is going to be a new captain next year, hopefully, then he's got to pick someone who's not necessarily been at the club the longest or who's got the prettiest hair or whatever. It's got to be somebody that is going to start the majority of the games.
I'm going to pick Santi just so we can hear screaming in the middle of the pitch. I know nothing. There you go, there's one for the mums and dads. Right, Hassan Ramzan says, do you guys think that the players will switch off in the league now because we have achieved the top 4 aim that Wenger and the board wanted? I think Wenger consistently talking about how it's an achievement to finish top 4 has given a negative mental effect on the players. Gimli, that's you first twice.
Of course they won't switch off. Jesus, you don't go, oh, well, we've done enough, that's it now. I would expect them to run their bollocks off and play their asses off. Even if third place was secured, I'd still expect them to go out for the last game of the season and put a performance on.
So they haven't got the flip-flops on
No,
yet.
it's a bit of, no offence to the guy that asked it, but it's a bit of a stupid question.
Well, everyone else, look at the Spurs and all those other teams. Southampton,
Don't compare us to that shower of shit.
Shower of shite. Oh, Raj, sort him out.
He's right, actually. They're on £100 a week. I expect them to work hard until the last second of the last game. But
you're
the only thing
you don't do it.
The only thing that will change maybe is Wenger's thinking in the West Brom game he might rest a couple of our star players for the cup final and stuff, but he would still want to put out a winning team. So no, I think they've got to work until the end.
Gav?
It's a cup final coming up. Do you know what I mean? They should be breaking their fucking balls to make sure that they're in the first 11.
Like in the old days.
Well, they should be, shouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? They should all be. Do you know what I mean? They should all be
9 against Swansea.
Oh,
all on target should have gone in. All playing their asses off.
Well, no, not even that. But I mean, they've all got to put in a performance to justify actually playing, in the next game, and that should be their mentality.
Yeah.
And their mentality going into every game. That if they have one bad game, they're likely to be on the bench or worse. And that should be, it should be drilled into them that is their mentality because they're playing for the Arsenal.
Okay, and I'm not going to call you Steve. I'm going to call you Stevie. Like I keep calling him Gav, or GC. I'm just terrible. Stevie, go on.
Thanks, dude.
That's all right.
So I'm just to change things up. I was going to say, I agree with everybody there. I'll just throw another element into the mix. Everybody that's got a contract of Arsenal Football Club has either got win bonuses or goal bonuses and Champions League qualification bonuses. A lot of times money talks.
Okay, right. Coming on from this a little bit is John Barrett says, if we go into the final game of the season still able to clinch second but guaranteed third, would you rest the whole team for the FA Cup final and not risk injury, or would you put out the strongest 11 and just go for it? Just yes or no, Gav?
One reason why we wouldn't do that.
Why?
Because the prize money difference between third and second is probably about 750 grand. Yeah, or whatever it is. That's one reason.
You had that written down?
No stats on the actual amount of difference, but there's going to be a monetary difference between second and third, which is the reason why.
1.2 million, yeah.
Is it 1.2 million?
Yep. Every place is 1.2 million.
Okay, that's 1.2 million reasons why he won't rest everybody for the last game of the season if we can still get second.
That would buy a lovely homestead in Colorado. Stevie?
Play the first team. Every game. Get involved.
You've always got to play your strongest 11, regardless.
Bloody hell. Raj?
No, I don't think he'll play his strongest 11. He might rotate a couple of players for that one. I think, yeah. Well, I think we've got players there to win that game. He doesn't have to play Sanchez every single game.
True.
I think he might rotate a couple, just keep it fresh a little bit, and also you might want to have a look at other players before the cup final, because at the moment we're playing our best 11 more often than not. So other players aren't getting the game.
It's a Wenger record.
Yeah, for the first time it's 94 or 96, I think it is. That we
20 odd years.
The same team
5 in a row.
5 in a row.
Well,
Shad Forsyth again.
Being the football manager supremo that I am, where I took Manchester Rovers from Tier 11 to the Premier League, if once I'd won the league, I would always rest everybody and give a load of, like in the old days when George Graham at Highbury, come the last couple of games of the season, players that hadn't played all season would get a game. So you see maybe like the Ox will start, and then Flamini start for maybe his last game, and then maybe Diaby might come on and then go off, and maybe give Martinez another game. And then we've got maybe like ZLM and Zach Hayden, and maybe even who's the striker, the young man whose name I forgot. Akpom, bless you. Yeah, I'd like to see if it's dead cert. I wouldn't really give a damn. To go out there and say to him, go out there and show me what you can do, and then maybe next season you might get the odd game on the bench.
I said, like Gav has already reiterated, there's 1.2 million reasons why sentimentality will not creep into the starting lineup for the end of the season.
I mean, if we can't make second, then we can't make fourth, and if we are stuck in third or we are stuck in fourth by then or whatever it is, then yeah, put out a hold of a second string team. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, if there's one place in danger either way, then he's going to put his best team out, isn't he?
Mark Lewis, favourite pizza toppings. Gav.
Spicy beef and pepper
beast.
and just all beefy meat.
You very cowist.
And jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos, Dan.
It's jalapenos.
It's jalapenos, Dan.
Jalapenos. The nurse who came round to take my blood today, she was from Colombia. And she seemed quite impressed when I said my favourite Colombian was Carlos Valderrama.
Well, here we go.
There you go. Gimli.
Just give you a better
as you have pizza 3 times a day.
I haven't got an oven at the moment.
Look how the other half live.
As if you cook.
Domino's Meateor or Texas Barbecue from Domino's. Don't bother getting anywhere other than Domino's Pizza, because that means you're a charlatan.
Oh dear, Stevie.
All of the meats and a side portion of mushrooms.
Oh, you don't fuck around, Raj. But you're a man of class, and I don't even know what pizza is.
Please don't mention fruit or fish.
Oh, you ain't gonna like mine.
Crosses off pineapple and tuna.
Pineapple and sardines is Danny's.
No, mine's banana
my
and tuna.
Pizza is pepperoni, ground beef, onions, mushrooms, and double green chilies.
Yeah.
And my one, I like to get a Tesco's four cheese one and put tuna on it and banana. Don't hate.
What is that? Oh my god!
It's a thing to behold.
Another banana reference, guys. Just
there you go.
Banana.
Yes, maybe we should end this podcast music with something by Bananarama.
Or even Banana Man.
Hey, right, friend of the pod, Frederick Darnell. See, I always think D for Denmark, and then do I think that's not Denmark or it is Denmark? Because we've got 2 Freddies, haven't we? Yeah. I'm going to say Scandinavia. Would you start Gabriel and Cos at the back on Sunday, or do you consider the BFG's experience is better than Gabriel's pace in this game, Stevie?
I keep Mertesacker in the first team every day of the week. Gabriel's a fantastic player, but Mertesacker, he hasn't got the pace, but his reading of the game is fantastic.
But would you tell him to stop thinking his gay song and stay the fuck back?
Yes, he needs to sit back a lot more. Yeah, he pushes up too much, and he does that last ditch, like, I better make this challenge, otherwise I've just fucked it up for everyone. Yeah, he's got to sit back a bit more.
Maybe someone at the other end of the ground had a bag full of schnitzels, and I don't even know what they are. Gimli?
No, it's got to be Mertesacker and Koscielny. I think Gabriel is just... it's a gamble, and if he does it and it doesn't come off, Arsene Wenger just gets a world full of abuse. So it's not even a question. It won't happen.
Oh, Gav?
The problem we had at the beginning of the season was keep chopping and changing the back four. Really, we've had a settled back four for a while now. Just leave them alone. Just put them on the pitch and leave them alone. Let them get on with it.
Did you answer this, Raj? I can't remember.
No.
Go on, him.
What, me?
Yeah, you're Raj.
No,
I'd
leave it as it is, basically.
Probably
Although there's a part of me that says I'd pick Gabriel and just say, make my season and just chop down Phil Jones.
I'd pick Gabriel and say dreams can come true.
Okay, right. Last, I think this will be the Luca asking, should we shoot
Twitter
more?
Question.
Hey?
Is this the 40th Twitter question?
No, this is all Facebook. I'm just saying Luca said, should we shoot more, you cheeky shit?
Oh.
Final question
no.
from Tim Das, the shortest name on Twitter. Hello, boys. Danny has a very luxurious beard, I think it was her. Who is everybody's favourite past or present bearded player? Love from @uncle_hair. And he is hairy and uncly. Stevie, you got anyone?
Sorry, I completely missed that.
Favourite bearded player?
Favourite bearded player? Ramsey. Sexy.
Oh, it's not very original, is it?
Oh, it's just I do a beard watch on my podcast, and Ramsey's pretty much like the golden boy. And I've met Ramsey as well. He's my Twitter profile picture,
Well,
and he's a good looking chap.
Can you grow a beard yourself, or are you beard deficient?
I can grow a partial beard, moustache. I struggle with, and I give everybody daggers when I see a marvellous moustache.
You got a touch of the Stokes, as we call it.
It's ridiculous. It drives me absolutely insane. I wish I could grow a proper beard. I'd grow like a mammoth beard if I could.
Now, we all know Raj is a man's man. Raj, beard detail, go.
I've actually played this game. I actually named a bearded 11 once.
You're going to like my one then, Raj.
Well, the two that I thought of from my bearded 11, I'd probably 11 beards, but Paul Breitner, do you remember him? For Germany. Paul Breitner, back in the 70s
Not
and 80s.
really.
And Socrates.
Oh,
That was a beard.
That was a proper beard. That was joined up to his head.
Oh, like all good beards are. None of that nonsense where they have a little gap, you tits. Gav.
Yeah, it's making me sad. I've got to shave my beard off this week.
Are you?
Been-
Do you do legs at the same time?
No. I say I've gone for. I think I've been growing this for about 6 weeks now, but it's getting to the point where I have to actually socialise, and I'm not allowed to socialise wearing a beard.
Oh dear.
So I know. So the
Like
beard's
she
gonna have
who
to
must
go.
be obeyed.
Yeah, it's her family, so I've got to cut the beard off. But
Favourite bearded player?
After this weekend, I'm gonna hate everybody who has a beard.
Swines. Go on, favourite bearded player, if you don't mind getting to the point.
I don't actually make any reference whatsoever to players' facial hair. That's sexist.
How beardist of you. Mr. Carpenter is spinning in his pirate ship. Gimli, do you know what a beard is?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer your question, but what I will tell you is that sometimes...
You found 2 hairs on your chin.
No, sometimes when Kate's out at work, I like to weave my beard into my pubic hair and play it like a harp.
Jesus Christ, so dear. My favourite is Brian Kilcline. Don't fuck with Brian Kilcline.
Oh, that was a good beard.
He'll murder you with his long golden... He's only 53. He was 53 when I first saw him playing for Coventry about 100 years ago. And that, Mr. Gimli, is the end of the questions, because we probably need to move it on a little bit.
We probably do.
I've got no idea how long this has been going. If someone can tweet me and let me know how long we've been going, that'd be brilliant.
We were going to do a bit of a preview on Man
2
United.
hours 12.
It's not been 2 hours 12. We've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes,
Fucking
actually.
felt like it.
Properly.
There's 2 games coming up before the next pod, isn't there?
Is there? Well, I was only going. I was only
Man United on Sunday, and we are at home to Sunderland next midweek.
No, fuck Sunderland. I was only going to cover Man United, but we covered most of the questions that I was going to answer or ask on that during the questions and in the first little bit. But Dom put something, Aussie Dom, as in the legend of the podcast, the man that just puts all of this together and makes it sexy.
Do you not think this pod has been rubbish without him?
I think it has been, to be honest with you. I think
we
it's
should
been...
go.
We've offended everybody. I mean, I've not even enjoyed it. You know...
You didn't answer the beard question.
No, I was just disgusted, really.
We've lost half our wonderful listeners.
Just disgusted at the questions, disgusted at the answers. Just disgusted in general, really.
This is petering off into a pile of shit now.
No, don't. It's not. We're just.
I want Dom on, because at
we?
least I know we'd only be halfway through.
Okay.
Excellent.
Right, we'll finish this podcast off then by looking at the weekend's game against Man United at Old Trafford. As I was saying, Dom put something very interesting in the group earlier, how we wanted to know how we'd set up against Man United. Gavin, I'll put this to you. Do we go for the win, knowing that, you know, we'd only need 1 point from our remaining 2? Or do we play for the draw? Oh no, that's wrong, isn't it? Do we go for the point from our remaining 2 games or something like that? I think if we draw with Man United, then we only need 2 points from our last 2 games. However, if we go there and we lose, we need to get 4 points from our remaining 2 fixtures. So my question to you, Gav, is do we go there and try to win? knowing that if we lose, we have to get 4 points to secure that third place? Or do we go there and play for the draw, knowing that to pick 2 points up from our last 2 games is an easier task?
It's like, should we fucking shoot more, that question, isn't it?
It's a bit really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've got the players, we've got the team, we've got the squad to go there like we did in the FA Cup and turn them over. So that's what we should do. I don't think that we can particularly change how we play. If Man United are going to be more forthcoming and more attacking than Monday night's shite. So I've got no reason to doubt that, you know, we'll turn them over. I can't see anything other than going for the win, and I can see us winning by a couple of goals.
No, that's fair enough. Like you said, I mean, we've got to remember that we went there and we've beaten them already this season. It's not going to be a Swansea. They are going to try and play us. One thing you can guarantee from Man United is no matter how bad a run of form they're on, they will always step it up against us. So by all means, it's not a given. But Raj, what's your thought on this one?
I don't think we're able to go there for a draw. I don't think it's in our psyche. I mean, you got players like Sanchez and Ozil. It's not that they weren't kind of taught how to go for a draw. I mean, hopefully we've got the ability to settle for a draw after 80 minutes if it's 1-1 or whatever. But I would think that we'd go out there to try and get the points, and I hope we do.
Okay. And Stevie?
I don't want to go into any game and want to go for the draw. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea get called boring Chelsea because they play boring football. Granted, they won the league, but Jesus Christ, it was boring. It's like watching paint dry. You've done a good job, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't want to go into a game wanting a draw. I want them to get at Manchester United, pressurise them from the top, defend from the front, and give them everything we've got. Go for the 3.
That's fair enough. And finally, Danny.
Well, Man United's home form in the Premier League. They've won 13 out of the last 15, and they were unlucky against West Brom, and I think they're unlucky against Southampton, both of which they lost 1-0. I think just go all out. They're vulnerable. They rely on long ball up to Fellaini, just because he's 7'6" with the throw. Yeah, go all out. Go out there, spank them, much like we did in the Cup.
Fair enough. And so we'll move this on then with predictions on that game. Danny, should I take predictions for both games?
Well, you can do, if you want.
That
Okay.
means writing twice as much, Dan. You know that, don't you?
Well, I've got to do it all anyway, yeah, so you might as well.
Okay.
But you still have to tell me all in the WhatsApp group, though.
Oh, Jesus, well, this is pointless then, isn't it?
Oh, let's do the Man United one then.
Okay. Right, let's have your prediction then, Danny.
I think we're going to go there and we're going to beat them 3-2. It's going to be a ding-dong of a game, and the first goal scorer is going to be Van Persie.
Okay.
No, maybe if he's injured. Is he injured? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, just do that, just so then he can think he's done it again, and then he's going to be stretched off with a broken face.
Okay. Gav?
In memory of it being 19 years since the great George Graham joined us, I'm going to say we're going to go there and get a typical George Graham result, 2-0 away, and Alexis.
Perry Groves' first goal.
Alexis.
Coming off the bench.
Raj?
I think we'll get a 1-1 draw there, with the first goal scorer being Fellaini.
Okay. Stevie?
It's got to be a 2-0 with, it's that guy Welbs, isn't it? It's that guy Welbs. It's got to be done already, isn't it?
Fair enough. And I'm going to go 1-0 to Arsenal and Alexis, I think. Right then, we'll end this show then by doing some shout-outs. I'm going to go first. My shout-out for tonight goes to @GarethPonting. That's GarethPonting. He's a criminally underfollowed gooner. I know him personally, as he's Welsh as well. He's had one of the kittens off of me. He's having another one as well, in fact. Just a really lovely, down-to-earth guy who deserves so much more followers than he's got. I think, on Twitter there's a lot of people who are just criminally underfollowed. And they are like the gems of Twitter, I think. Right then, Danny?
Well, first of all, my one's just going to be thank yous to Akib, Akshay, Cecilia, Robert, Raheel, Gregory and Mark, all the people who've made donations to our pod, and we've now had £265 English. Thank you very much, everybody.
Fantastic. Do you want to let people know how they can donate? And also, I'd like to say personally, as one of the co-founders, a massive thank you. Your generosity it's truly humbling.
Oh, well, I wouldn't quite go that far. All would do. I've got a villa in Spain to pay for, and a helicopter to get there. Yeah, if you send us any money, there's been those 6 people, so they're in the draw. You can either have a Ryo Miyagi home shirt, or you can have a Carl Jenkinson home shirt from, I think it's the 11-12 season, and they're both their home shirts, and they're both player issue shirts. Not saying they're match worn, but if you want it to be match worn, I can make it match worn, but you can't sue us, so you'll all be in the draw for that. Go to our website, click on donate, and then then we can afford to do something extravagant like buy a new hat.
And I should say, it's not about how much you donate. So it's...
Well, it is, yeah. 50 quid, please.
No, just whatever you can afford. If you can't afford very much, but you love the podcast, then just donate us £1. That's fine. That's not
every little helps.
You're doing your bit.
Bananas.
Exactly. Yes. You're doing your bit to keep the podcast afloat for next season. We put a lot of hard work into it, and it's nice to know that there are people out there that love what we do and care so much about the podcast. So, again, thank you.
Cheers.
Wonderful. Gav?
Right, firstly, I'd like to say thank you to you, gents, and everybody else who RTs my little merchandise things that I do, and thank you to everybody that's bought a polo shirt over the last week. And I've got a few other little goodies coming up and arranged for the cup finals. That's my little advert out the way. Secondly, shout out to the fella that's got the greatest beard. One of my mates, he's got the bollocks of a beard. My mate Mark, I've known him for years, home and away. He's at _cross, and if you look at his profile picture, he's got the daddy of all beards. Second shout out is to Gary, who is GH16 _A.F.C. Now, Gary's arranging a charity football match at Hendon Football Club on Sunday the 5th of July. It's a team of Willow All-Stars, because obviously all the money raised is going towards the Willow Foundation, Bob Wilson's charity. And it's versus an Arsenal charity team. The team to be announced, but apparently there's quite a few nice names that have already said they're going to go. He's looking for raffle prizes at the moment. There's already a couple of bits from me, a meal voucher for Pinebury Corner, a meal voucher for Bill's Restaurant, and there's a signed print of last year's FA Cup winning team as well. So firstly at the moment he's looking for a few raffle prizes for that. And secondly, if you're not gone on an early holiday on Sunday the 5th of July, get down there, because it's going to be a good day. There'll be a good bit of football, and a good bit of drinking and singing going on as well, in the bar afterwards. So, follow Gary, GH16 _AFC. All for Willow.
You'll make Mark. It's THE _CROS, not double S, as I've just found out.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
I said it wrong. Do apologise. But like I say, get behind Gary, and like I say, it's all for Willow. So, yeah.
Very noble cause. Very noble cause indeed. Stevie, we'll go with you next.
I'm going to be a complete plugging whore, and I'm going to plug my podcast just because I can.
I did interview last night.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I could have gone, oh, thanks, guys, for, my shout out goes to you lot for bringing me on this podcast. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not my way of doing it. Follow my podcast at Arsenal Blood Pod, Arsenal in my blood. Really appreciate it. Give us a follow.
And this week's episode, I'm back and whoring myself out as ever. Literally, there is no fee. Just ask me and I'll do it. If I've got the time, I will do it. Very good podcast. One of the ones I personally listen to as well. So go and give them a nudge. And finally, Raj, bearing in mind Danny's just gone off for a poo, so make your shout out about 3 minutes, please.
I've only got one.
We'll make it number 2.
Has he gone? Is he really gone? Has he gone disappeared? Is it?
Really genuinely gone.
He's genuinely
I'll tell you what. Shall I give you a supplementary question on that last question we had? Very quickly, yes or no?
Yeah, go on.
We didn't. Welbeck played in the last game against Man United. Do you reckon Wenger will pick him again for Sunday just because of that connection?
Well, I hope so, because that's my prediction.
Yeah.
I think he might be inclined to give Giroud a rest. I really do think so. I think, United out the way, those two last games of the season are the most important. So if it's a case of playing Welbeck against Man United and keeping him happy, making sure Giroud's fit and healthy for the last two of the season, I think that would probably be a wise way to do things.
If it's true that he had a bit of a Barney when he didn't get picked the other day.
See, can you explain this, Raj? Because I've not heard about this, and I'm sure there are people on there that haven't.
I've just heard that when he found out that he wasn't in the squad, he wasn't even on the bench or something, he just had a bit of a Barney, and Mertesacker had to calm him down. But what I'm saying is that if he doesn't get picked on Sunday, that makes it 10 times worse against his old team, and especially when he scored the winner in the Cup. But, I would expect him to play. Gav, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope he plays him, but he starts him out wide right, because I think that's where we've kind of struggled a little bit, really. And like I say, as we discovered a couple of years ago, when some idiots were giving Ramsey a hell of a lot of abuse for when he was playing the right side of midfield, Ramsey ain't really that right-sided. Do you know what I mean? He's not a right winger, is he? And I think we're going to I think if we're going to play to our strengths, which is sort of hold it up in the middle and then hit them fast on the break, then Welbeck would be well positioned on the right hand side. So I'd like to see him, if he is fully fit and if he is match fit, I'd like to see him start on the right.
Yeah, I'm not fussed where he starts. I think he has to start because that's his old club, and it's the motivation that he'll have to try and score again against at Old Trafford as well. So,
would you start him in place as Giroud?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I think he'll be up for it, like he was in the last game.
I will say, sorry, Kate was saying to me before the podcast started that Arsene Wenger came out and said that he wouldn't be available. He wouldn't be. I don't think he's fit for it.
He hasn't done his pre-match jobby yet, though, has he?
No, I don't.
Pre-match presser.
So, I mean, we'll just have to see, won't we? I don't think Danny's going to be back before the end of the podcast, because we do have to remember he does what he does in a bottle for a reason.
Do you reckon, right, look, Danny actually listens to all this before he puts it all up?
No, of course he doesn't. He puts it on fast forward, so you could literally say anything now, and he wouldn't have a clue. He just put some end music to it, and that would be it. I mean, we could put the Easter egg before the end of the podcast.
I'd like to say 4 words then.
Go on.
The Fat Hairy Knacker.
So that was a Bergkamp Wonderland podcast. Thank you.
Hold on. Can't we all?
All right.
Get a chance to,
Everyone gets 4 words. 4 words, Gav.
4 words.
Yeah.
4 words.
Go on.
Hairy, banana, eating, cunt.
Stevie?
My pizza is coming.
Okay. Fat, hairy, useless cunt. That's what So that was...
Edit that out. Fucking Danny. Go on, edit that out.
Thank you so much for listening. Keep it Arsenal. Good night.
Doodles!
Please start, God Almighty. I'm dying here. Fucking 10 to 8.
How's the cricket, Raj?
I don't know. I can't switch it on because I'm being professional and left my TV off.
No, you're umpiring the other day.
The rain's cut out his sky. You can't see it.
No, you were umpiring the other day, or were you playing with the sandwiches?
What, yesterday?
Yeah.
No, I was a match manager.
What's that mean?
I mean, just sit around, drink beer, and eat sandwiches.
Is there anything you won't manage?
Can Gav do that job?
Won't even need the sandwiches.
He's undercut you already. So what does that tell you? I thought you were umpiring. I just wondered.
Just weekends.
Does anyone ever fuck you around when you're umpiring, or are you very stern?
No, I'm very stern, actually.
But the ladies love that.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell, cricket's changed.
No, seriously, now, it is like 5 to 8, so I was hoping to get away by 9:30, but that's not going to happen, is it?
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm recording now.
Okay.
Cunts.
Come on, we've got Big Brother to watch later.
There's your Easter egg. Cunts.
Raj has got a potty mouth.
He's got a potty mouth.
So if the Queen is, she's going to be gutted.
Oh, Danny, shut the fuck up. Let's carry on. Right.
Go.
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
how to win the podcast.
That's enough silence.
That'll do.
I think he'll keep that in as well. I genuinely think he'll keep that in. Fat, hairy, useless cunt. And you, Gav, when there was that silence, I knew, in my head I was going, say cunt, say cunt, say cunt, say cunt, say cunt now.
Hold on, Tim, hold on. I've just gone on to Arsenal.com. Team news, Chamberlain to Bushi, Arteta are not ready. Welbeck has a little possibility to be fit. What? Why does he fucking speak like that? Danny Welbeck has a little possibility to be fit.
So just say he's not going to play. The chances are he isn't going to play. Simple.
That's not even fucking I know I'm not fucking great with grammar and shit, right? But that ain't proper English, is it?
No, it ain't. It ain't proper English.
We'll just call it a stab in the dark.
Yeah. Little possibility.
He's trying. He's trying. He's trying.
It's like offering a little bit of hope when there is none.
And these twats thought I wouldn't leave it in. Fucking amateurs. I have the power. The power of Grayskull. Well, kind of. Bye-bye. Nanu nanu cheeky monkeys. Nanu nanu. Nanu nanu. Say as much as I want now. Can't stop me. Nanu 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 cheeky monkeys.